Hey guys and gals, this is Alex with Xchange Commercial Real Estate, and I'm walking you through this new listing that we have. This is a situation where we are representing the seller in this transaction. This is a 13 unit set of properties in Independence. It's two buildings across two buildings, or sorry, two buildings, 8 units in one building, 5 units in another building. I want to walk you through the business plan. You can see the photos here. That way you can get a reference point. Here's a starting address for you, and let's get right into it with the evaluation. Okay. So over here is the business plan. This is a standard, fairly standard projected business plan form where we have put in appropriate numbers for each individual piece of the property and how it will make money. So a couple things here off the top. We've got 13 units here like we talked about. This is the seller's current asking price, which is about $55,000 per unit. And in this business plan, we're saying we could add another $52,000 to it to get higher rents and have a bit more stable of a building. And doing this business plan at this price, we could get to a 10% cap rate with cash flow each year of $27,000, which gets us to a whopping almost 14% cash on cash return. You think the stock market getting 5, 6, 7, 8%. So you're getting double that if you utilize this kind of business plan here. That's 14%. And as you can see here later on, you'll see it's a lot higher than that annual return, average annual return, if you sell this property in 5 years. So let's get more into the details of how you get to a 10% cap rate and 14% cash on cash return. Let's go over here. We got a loan to value in place at 75% leverage, which means you're putting 25% down. You need to find $200,000 in equity to make this deal work, which most people that are investors would have. Current interest rate on something like this is 7.4%. Today is March 11th, and that's going to be about 3.4 points or so over the 5 and 10-year Treasury notes. So that should be very doable for local institutions. We're going to amortize that over 25 years to hit these numbers. 12 months to stabilize, I think, is more of an exaggeration there, but we're going to hold this for 5 years. Okay. Now let's get into more of the nitty gritty of what we've got going on, how we're going to get to this income. We've got several different studios here, but just for simplicity, we combine them all together. So we've got a studio in White Oak, 4 one-bedrooms in White Oak, 3 studios on Spring Street, 1 bedroom on or 4 one-bedrooms on Spring Street, and 1 3-bedroom on Spring Street. All of these market rents here are for program style tenants. What that means is they're not Section 8 necessarily, but they're programs that desperately need places to house people. And so these are fair market rents for this area for these types of properties. So in these buildings, all utilities are paid by the owner. In this one, the tenants actually pay their own electric and water. And so that equates to $144,000 in annual rent at these fair market rents, which is very doable. And they already have most of this in place right now. In fact, they're over $9,500 a month in rent each month based on the current rent roll. Okay. All right, skip over to the details here. Through this business plan, you're also going to make a few dollars per month per unit on pets, maybe application fees, forfeited deposits, those kind of things. Average of $25 per unit per month per year gets you to $3,900 more in income. We're going to assume a 5% vacancy rate, which means you're going to lose about $7,200 a year due to vacant units. The rest of these inputs, we've got taxes. That's actual for 2023. Then we have, and remember too, on taxes, they just went up in 2023, so they won't go up till 2025. And they don't go up on sale. They actually go up based on a market analysis conducted by the county in the state of Missouri. So it's a little bit different than Kansas and maybe some of the other states that you've invested in. This $4,300 here on property insurance is actually as quoted. So we have a quote from our insurance provider that already has insurance in the building at $4,300. So it's very reasonable there. These utilities are actual for 2023. And the rest is also fairly, very much so based on actual. So we got management fee in place at 10%, which is what they currently are charging. Leasing and maintenance and repairs gets you to 62,000. So you're really looking at about 50% expense ratio, which is very common for this type of building, this location, this age, and this type of property management. So that's how you get to this business plan, and this extrapolates that out over a 5-year period. You can see in year 5, you get about an 18% cash on cash, assuming you've got about a 2.5% increase in income and increase in growth. Okay, which is very believable in this inflationary environment we're in right now. We're going to say you could actually sell this at about a 6.75% cap rate at sale. It's going to cost you 6% to sell, and you're going to get an IRR of 37, almost 38%. All right. So digest those kind of numbers. You can see, I know on one hand, at least over compared to the last several years, this appears too good to be true. But part of that stems from the age of the building, the locations of the building, which is good for independence. But with interest rates being a little higher, people have a hard time believing some of these numbers can be possible. But in this situation, it actually is. So just doing a little bit more math here. Right now, they're at $9,600 in rent each month. That puts income at already $115,000. And your expenses right now are a little less because you're paying based off percentages here. So you're still looking at about an 8% as is in place cap rate based on actuals. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this quick analysis of the Independence 13 unit property here to get you to about a 14% cash on cash return and a 10% cap rate. Again, here's the buildings. I'm happy to kind of scroll through some of these photos here. You can see what this is all about. It's just a crisp type of building with some 100-year-old nuances, so to speak, but maintain the property, put money into it as units turn, make improvements as necessary using program style tenants, voucher tenants in there, and you can make a lot of money. Again, this is Alex Olson with the listing here at 1208 West White Oak Street in Kansas City area in Independence, Missouri. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you have any questions, please reach out. Email me, alex@xchangecre.com, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.